January 21st is not just another date on the calendar. This is a cosmic deadline, a moment the universe has been preparing you for over years, not days. Today, Saturn and Uranus meet for the very last time in this energetic configuration, and when this door closes, it will not reopen in this lifetime. If you are feeling pressure, restlessness, confusion, or an intense urge to change everything, you are not imagining it. This is the sound of an old timeline collapsing and a new reality demanding your decision. Saturn is the planet of karma, discipline, and long-term destiny. Uranus is the planet of sudden awakening, rebellion, and radical change. When these two collide, the universe forces a choice between what is safe and what is true. For years, this energy has been slowly shaking your foundations, breaking structures that were built on fear, limitation, and outdated beliefs. January 21st marks the final strike, the final activation, the last opportunity to step through the portal before it seals. Many people are feeling this as exhaustion mixed with urgency. You may feel like time is running faster, like you can no longer tolerate situations that once felt manageable. Relationships that were built on control, jobs that drain your soul, routines that numb your spirit are suddenly unbearable. Saturn says stay responsible, stay practical, stay in line. Uranus says break free now or stay stuck forever. This inner conflict is the exact test of this moment. What makes this alignment so powerful is that it is not gentle. The universe is not whispering anymore. It is pushing. If you ignore the signs now, Saturn will lock the lesson in place. If you listen, Uranus opens a path you didn't even know existed. That is why this portal feels intense, emotional, and sometimes overwhelming. You are standing between the past you survived and the future you are meant to live. Some of you will experience sudden realizations today. A truth clicks into place. A lie you've been telling yourself becomes impossible to ignore. You may suddenly understand why things fell apart before, why delays happened, why doors closed. It was all leading here. Saturn was training you, Uranus was preparing you, and now the universe asks one question: will you choose growth even if it scares you? This is also a karmic clearing point. Old contracts, energetic debts, and soul lessons are completing. You may feel drawn to let go without knowing exactly why. Trust that feeling. What leaves now cannot follow you into the next cycle. The portal closing is not a punishment. It is protection. Once it shuts, distractions fall away and the path becomes clearer, but only if you made the courageous choice before the door sealed. People who have been resisting change may experience chaos. Sudden disruptions, unexpected endings, or uncomfortable truths can surface. This is Saturn enforcing reality and Uranus removing illusions. But for those who have done the inner work, this energy brings liberation, a sense of relief, a quiet knowing that you are finally aligned with your real path. January 21st is also a moment of personal responsibility. Manifestation after this point works differently. The universe stops carrying you and starts responding to the choices you make. Victimhood dissolves. Excuses no longer work. Saturn demands maturity. Uranus rewards authenticity. Together, they shape the next chapter of your life with precision. If you are watching this video, it is not random. You are aware enough to feel this shift. Pay attention to what your intuition is urging you to do today. Not tomorrow, not next week. This is a now moment. Even a small decision made with truth today carries massive consequences for the future. The cosmic portal is closing, but what opens next depends entirely on your courage. Choose the path that feels real, not the one that feels safe. The universe is watching. Saturn is recording. Uranus is activating. And the version of you that exists after January 21st will never be the same again. As this portal begins to close, the energy around you may feel strangely quiet yet heavy at the same time. This is the calm before the final decision locks in. The universe is observing not your words, not your wishes, but your actions. Saturn does not respond to intentions that are never acted upon. Uranus does not wait for people who hesitate. This is why even silence today carries weight. What you tolerate now becomes what you carry forward. Many people are experiencing vivid dreams, sudden memories from the past, or emotional waves that appear without warning. These are not random. This is your subconscious clearing old timelines, showing you where you once betrayed yourself, where you stayed small to keep peace, where you chose comfort over truth. These memories are surfacing now, so they can be released before the door seals shut. You may notice people acting strangely around you. Some will pull away, some will challenge you, some will suddenly reappear. Saturn is closing karmic loops, and Uranus is removing outdated soul agreements. Anyone who no longer matches your frequency may feel uncomfortable in your presence. Do not chase explanations. Detach with awareness. This alignment rewards those who trust the process rather than control it. This is also a moment where divine timing becomes undeniable. Delays you once hated suddenly make sense. Roads that were blocked protected you from entering too early. Now the universe is saying the training phase is over. Whatever you have been preparing for internally now demands external movement. Even fear is a signal. Fear does not mean stop. It means the old version of you is dissolving. If you feel torn between responsibility and freedom, understand that this is the exact Saturn-Uranus paradox. Saturn wants structure, Uranus wants liberation. The balance is found by building a new structure that honors your truth. Not chaos, not rebellion for ego, but conscious change rooted in wisdom. This is how timelines shift without destruction. Energy-sensitive people may feel this physically. Pressure in the head, tightness in the chest, sudden fatigue, or bursts of motivation followed by deep stillness. Ground yourself, drink water, spend time in silence. Your nervous system is recalibrating to hold a higher level of awareness. Do not numb it. Let it pass through you. This portal closing also marks the end of waiting energy. After January 21st, things move fast. Decisions accelerate. Consequences become immediate. What you choose now sets momentum that will carry you for months, even years. That is why the universe slowed everything down before this moment, to make sure your choice comes from clarity, not impulse. Some of you will feel a deep inner yes today, a calm certainty even if the path ahead is unknown. That is your soul aligning with the new timeline. Others may feel resistance, anxiety, or doubt. That is the old structure fighting to survive. Observe it without judgment. You are not broken. You are transitioning. As the Saturn-Uranus cycle completes, the lesson is simple but uncompromising. You cannot build a future on a lie and expect peace. You cannot keep ignoring your truth and still call it destiny. The universe has been patient. This is the final reminder. When the portal closes, the noise fades. What remains is clarity, the kind that cannot be unlearned, the kind that changes how you see everything. Trust that whatever ends now is making room for something that finally matches who you have become. After this moment, you may notice something subtle but powerful shift inside you. The need for validation begins to dissolve. You stop seeking permission to be who you are. Saturn has taught you the cost of responsibility without self-respect, and Uranus now removes the chains you didn't realize you were still carrying. This is why some people will feel strangely distant from old goals. They no longer resonate because they were born from survival, not purpose. The universe is also restructuring time around you. Missed calls, delayed responses, sudden cancellations, and unexpected meetings are all part of the realignment. Nothing is off schedule. Everything is adjusting to place you where you need to be next. Pay attention to what repeats today. Repetition is the universe underlining a message you can no longer ignore. There is a strong theme of sovereignty in this alignment. You are being asked to take full ownership of your life. No more blaming circumstances, people, or the past. Saturn closes the chapter of excuses. Uranus opens the chapter of self-authority. This can feel heavy at first, but it is actually freedom in its purest form. Some of you may feel called to make a bold decision quietly. Not announce it, not explain it. Just commit internally. That is enough. Energy moves the moment the decision is real. The external world will catch up later. This is how timelines shift invisibly before they manifest physically. If you feel lonely right now, understand this is temporary. Saturn often isolates us during karmic completion, so distractions do not interfere with clarity. Uranus then brings new connections aligned with your future self, not your past wounds. Do not rush to fill the space. Let it refine you. This alignment also exposes false stability. Anything built on fear of loss, fear of judgment, or fear of change will feel unstable now. This is intentional. True stability comes from alignment, not control. When you choose truth, the universe reorganizes itself around you. That is the hidden miracle of this transit. You may feel a strong urge to simplify. Fewer commitments, fewer conversations, less noise. This is Saturn helping you consolidate energy and Uranus helping you detach from excess. Minimalism of the soul. What remains is what truly matters. As the portal closes, intuition sharpens. Signs become obvious. Synchronicities increase. You may hear the same message from different sources. This is confirmation. Do not overthink it. Overthinking is the old timeline's last defense. This moment is not about instant rewards. It is about long-term destiny. Saturn works in years, Uranus works in breakthroughs. Together, they create lasting change. What you choose now echoes forward far beyond what you can currently see. When you look back on this time, you will realize this was the point where everything quietly shifted. Not with fireworks, but with certainty. The moment you stop negotiating with your own truth. As the final hours of this alignment pass, you may sense a quiet seriousness in the air, as if the universe itself has slowed down to witness your choice. This is not a dramatic ending, but a definitive one. Saturn does not slam doors, it seals them. Uranus does not beg, it moves on. What is not chosen now fades naturally, without force, without noise, simply because its time is over. You might feel an unusual sense of maturity rising within you. Not heaviness, but clarity. You begin to see consequences before they happen. You sense where certain paths lead even without proof. This is Saturn gifting wisdom earned through experience, and Uranus sharpening your foresight. Together they create a new level of awareness that cannot be undone. Some people will suddenly feel compelled to speak their truth today, even if it feels uncomfortable. Others will choose silence and distance. Both are valid. What matters is authenticity. Masks feel suffocating now because the energy no longer supports pretending. The more real you are, the smoother this transition becomes. This alignment also dissolves false urgency. You realize what truly needs immediate action and what was simply draining your energy. Panic gives way to intention. Chaos gives way to direction. This is how the universe restores balance after long periods of internal conflict. If you have been waiting for a sign to finally trust yourself, this is it. Not because everything is clear, but because you are. Saturn has tested you enough. Uranus has awakened you enough. Now the universe steps back and lets you walk on your own. After the portal closes, emotional reactions change. You respond instead of react. You choose instead of drift. You no longer feel pulled in 100 directions. This is not because life becomes easier, but because you become stronger and more aligned. You may notice your priorities shift overnight. What once mattered deeply loses its grip. What once scared you loses its power. This is the release of karmic weight. You are no longer carrying lessons that have already been learned. There is also a quiet reward embedded in this moment, a sense of peace that does not depend on outcomes, a trust in yourself that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. This is the foundation Saturn wanted you to build, and the freedom Uranus wanted you to claim. As this chapter closes, understand this truth. The universe never closes a portal unless you are ready to stand on your own. What comes next will require courage, but it will also feel right in a way nothing before did. This is the moment you stop preparing and start living. The moment you stop waiting and start embodying the future version of yourself. The portal may be closing, but your path is finally clear. As this energy fully integrates, you may realize that the biggest shift is not outside of you, but within your sense of identity. The question is no longer who you should be, but who you are no longer willing to pretend to be. Saturn removes the roles you played to survive. Uranus reveals the truth you hid to stay accepted. This internal alignment is the true portal closing, because once you see yourself clearly, you cannot go back to illusions. The need to rush fades. The need to prove fades. You stop explaining your choices to people who cannot understand your growth. This is not arrogance. This is self-respect finally taking root. Saturn has taught you boundaries through consequence. Uranus now teaches freedom through self-trust. Some of you may feel an unexpected emotional release, tears without sadness, laughter without reason, a deep exhale after years of holding tension. This is your nervous system recognizing safety and authenticity. When the inner war ends, peace arrives naturally. You may also feel more selective with your energy. Not everyone deserves access anymore. This is not isolation. This is discernment. Saturn shows you where energy leaks existed. Uranus helps you seal them without guilt. This alone changes everything. This alignment marks the end of chasing external signs. You become the signal. Your presence shifts rooms. Your words carry weight. Your silence speaks volumes. This is the quiet authority that comes from alignment rather than control. If fear appears now, observe it gently. Fear is only the echo of an identity that is dissolving. Do not fight it. Let it pass. What remains after fear is clarity, and clarity is power. The universe will begin responding to you differently after this point. Opportunities align faster. Redirections happen cleanly. You stop hitting the same walls repeatedly. This is Saturn rewarding responsibility and Uranus rewarding courage. When you reflect on this moment in the future, you will realize this was the line you crossed where growth became irreversible, where you stopped negotiating with destiny and started cooperating with it. The cosmic portal is closing, but what it leaves behind is something far greater than what it takes away. It leaves you with yourself, fully present, fully awake, and fully capable. This is not a dramatic ending. This is a stable beginning, one built on truth, courage, and self-mastery. Stay grounded, stay honest, stay aligned. Everything unfolding from here is a direct response to who you chose to become today.